What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of NFL Turf Talk. As always, we are live here on the DSM Media Twitter channel as well as the DSM Turf Talk YouTube channel. So, guys, do us a favor, do yourself a favor. Make sure to check us out on Twitter at DSM_media is where you can find us. Make sure to smash that follow button and then check out the link tree in our bio. It will take you directly to the YouTube channel. You can see below me. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, share it with your friends, family, any other football fans that you may know that could enjoy the content. We're live here every Sunday and as of right now, Friday, Scotty. We'll see how the schedule continues. This is the Week 7 kickoff show. We had the Bengals the Bengals Steelers game on Thursday night that we already recapped on Friday afternoon, so we don't have to touch on that. We're going to break down the entire slate. Not a very interesting 1 o'clock slate, Scotty, but as the day goes on, the games get better. We have a pretty good Sunday night matchup regardless of injuries, and then Monday night with 2 bangers in a doubleheader spread out to the West Coast as well at a 10 p.m. start in Seattle. So a lot to get into. Excited to get into it. Happy Sunday, brother. What's going on?
Yes, sir. Happy Sunday. Happy Week 7. You mentioned it. There's not a ton in the early slate outside of that Eagles-Minnesota game, which if you guys want to hear that preview, we will be previewing that game right after this show. So definitely keep an eye out for that link. But, I think the 4 p.m. slate is where the action starts. And then, of course, we have the national slate, the national TV slate throughout Sunday night and Monday night, as you mentioned, that you got some pretty prolific matchups and some turning points, I guess you could predict here in some of these games. So I'm excited to get into it with you as well, my man. But where do you want to start? Let's go there.
Yeah, I mean, we could just skip right past the entire 1 o'clock slate because, like you said, we're not going to talk about like
we can just make picks later on there and move on.
All those games will be a part of our 2-minute drill towards the end when we get to picks. Let's jump right to the 4 o'clock slate. Let's start 4:05, man. Colts Chargers. We talked a lot about the Colts on Friday show. We talked a lot about Daniel Jones. Had some questions asked about is he playing at an MVP level? Are the Colts serious contenders? They keep winning games. The resume, not all that impressive, but they are winning football games. That's all that matters. They get a tough task in L.A. taking on the Chargers. Their only loss of the year, Scotty, in L.A. to the Rams a few weeks ago. So we'll see how that goes. Justin Herbert looking to bounce back. What are you looking at in this game? Chargers 2.5-point favorites. The total sitting around 48.5. I'm leaning Chargers. Tell me if I'm wrong and why.
It's interesting. It's an interesting matchup because you look at both of these teams. They're both coming in with something to prove. I think the Colts, obviously, even starting 5-1 so far. We've said it on this show. I'm not going to speak for other shows and podcasts, but it feels like everyone is just a little skeptical, when it comes to the Colts and how far this can really go for them and how good are they really. But this is a good litmus test. This is Justin Herbert. This is a, top 10, top 7, top 5 quarterback for most people. This is a prolific matchup for the Colts to go out there and get a win. And I do think they have a chance at that. It is an away game. So, you would tend to think, that you would give the advantage to LA, but we've seen what those LA stadiums look like. I don't think home field advantage is going to be too much of a threat for the Colts today. But on the other side, it's the same exact thing. It's Justin Herbert. They're trying to get one of their signature wins on the season, and that's what the Colts are at this point at 5-1. Their signature win. So if Justin Herbert can go out and lead this Chargers unit to a W today, even at home, that's a very, very impressive W. And he is going to be, once again, working with the, hampered offensive line. So that's something to worry about.
Hampered running game.
It's such an interesting matchup. I wouldn't put my money either way on who's going to win this ultimately. There's just something in my stomach that's telling me that Justin Herbert's going to have a game today, and he is going to have that signature win under his belt. And I know that I feel like that kind of means a lot for me because I am skeptical of even Justin Herbert myself. So for me to have that gut feeling that he's going to come out and play really good football today, I think the Chargers are going to come away with the W at home, so I won't disagree with you there, but It should be a really good game. It should be a really good game.
Yeah.
And I think these two teams, like now that we've seen what the Colts are to an extent, I think these two teams are in the same tier for the most part.
I agree,
So.
and I think it's the game of the day when you're looking at this slate, right? But it's funny because
Yeah,
all
to be fair.
eyes really are on Daniel Jones and the Colts because, to your point, this is the win that they're searching for, right? They are 5-1. They had the good win, like beating Denver was a good win, but we know how that game ended. They shouldn't have won that game. Obviously missed a field goal, and Denver touches the long snapper, and they get 15 yards, and they walk it off in that fashion. But they've beaten essentially nobody outside of that. Their loss is to a good playoff team in Los Angeles in the Rams. Well, now you get another team in Los Angeles that's a playoff team right now. And if you lose this game, what does it truly say about you? When we talk about, championship contention, winning that division, you have to start to improve your resume, right? Bolster that resume.
Yeah.
But
it's a great point.
This game is so important for the Chargers, man. Not test-wise. The Chargers have beaten good teams so far this year, but if they lose this game today, they will have lost 3 of their last 4 games, and the Chiefs get the Raiders today. And after 3 weeks of the Chiefs starting 0-2, and the Chargers were 3-0, and the Chargers had the head-to-head win early. Can they really finally take the division away from Kansas City? You lose today, and I promise you're tied 4-3 at the end of Week 7 with Kansas City. You do not want to lose this game today if you're Harbaugh. I'm very interested to see what his defense can do to Daniel Jones in that offense. That Colts offensive line and Jonathan Taylor has been incredible. Daniel Jones, 2 of the last 3 weeks, starting to turn the football over a little bit more. Turned the ball over last time he was in LA and cost his team the game against the Rams. Can he protect the ball? Can they run the ball? Can they get the ball to Tyler Warren and Michael Pittman? If they can do that, it'll be a very, very interesting ending to this game. If he turns the ball over, I think LA makes some pay today and wins by a touchdown or more.
Yeah, I do feel you when you talk about that offensive line. Jonathan Taylor, he could have a day against them. I mean, we've seen other running backs do it. Obviously, Washington went in there, and Bill had a day against the Chargers. So it can be done. And obviously, Jonathan Taylor's just super dangerous. But great point about Daniel Jones. I think he had, 2 interceptions last week? I think
he had 1, should have had 2. He had 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
2 weeks. Okay, I got you. So, it's definitely picked up a bit. But once again, prove its spot, keep the turnovers down, go into L.A., get a big dub against the Chargers, and we might be thinking, I wouldn't say a lot differently, but a little bit differently about the Colts moving forward. So,
No, I agree. It would be a humongous win for them, and to get to 6-1 early on the year. You have Jacksonville and London right now losing by 3 touchdowns to the Rams. Jacksonville did just turn the ball over on downs at the Rams 27, of course, like we mentioned before the show. So crushing me at the moment. But with that said, let's move on to the NFC East. Scotty, Commanders, Cowboys. I believe this is the Fox game of the week, I would imagine. Cowboys 1.5-point favorites against the Commies today. Total sitting at 54.5. One of the biggest totals you're going to see all NFL season. No Terry McLaurin again for the Commanders. I think we're leaning the same way. We mentioned it kind of very quickly before the show. Where are you leaning in Dallas and Jerry World today?
Man, it feels weird, but I am leaning towards the Commanders today, and I think it just comes from the sense of me believing that the Commanders are simply a better team than the Dallas Cowboys. I think they're a more balanced team than the Dallas Cowboys. While I'm not the highest on that Commanders mature defense, if that's a positive word you can spin on that defense. They're obviously a little bit older with Bobby Wagner leading the way there, but I like that defense a lot more than the Dallas Cowboys defense that just cannot stop anyone or anything. And I think to that point, you mentioned, we talked about it earlier, Jaden Daniels, man, it's time to go into Jerry World and show your stuff. And I think this is something we've come to the conclusion as well. Like we battle with Commanders fans, but we do respect Jaden Daniels. Like we do have him in our top 10 and like wherever you want to put top set, whatever, right? He's a talented quarterback, and I do think he has his way with that Dallas Cowboys defense today.
Everybody
has caveat. They do get CeeDee Lamb back today, but
big.
in my opinion, man, like, what are they gonna do? Score like 50? Okay, like they'll score. They'll score today. Like the Cowboys will score points today. It's can they stop the other team from scoring, man? So CD helps, but he's not gonna help the
I'm
defense.
glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because I do agree. It makes sense, right? But maybe it's not about stops. Maybe it's very reminiscent of the 2018 Super Bowl, Eagles, Patriots. Which team gets that turnover?
Yeah.
We just mentioned protecting the ball in the Colts game for Daniel Jones. We saw Monday night Jaden Daniels put the ball on the ground twice, lose one of them, throw a pick in the just outside the red zone.
Yeah.
And they lost that game by a point. Which team wins the turnover battle? Which team gets one extra possession? Which offense gets put in a good position to where they get one extra try at it than the opponent to get enough points to win this game? I agree. I think it's going to be high scoring. I don't know that I would put my money. We'll see how the day goes. I don't know that I would put my money on a total like 55 in the NFL.
Yeah.
But by all accounts, when you watch this Cowboys team play football, I don't know if there's another way to go in that game.
Are they going to score? They're going to score 30, right? Like they should. Yeah.
I think Washington goes on the road. The fact that they're underdogs, even if it's only a point or a point and a half, is a little crazy to me. I think it's a little overreactionary to a CD Lamb coming back, to it being in Dallas. Like I know, like, oh, no CD or no Terry McLaurin, CD Lamb comes back, should be leg up. Dude, it doesn't matter if it's Bryce Young, if it's Caleb Williams, if it's Jaden Daniels.
Rico
they can't
Dowdle,
stop a nosebleed right now. The defenders, the secondary knows it. Every week they're being questioned about, we're terrible.
Yeah.
Well, fix it, and they can't. So I think
I heard Trayvon Diggs is out too. So
what was that? Oh, Diggs.
I heard Diggs was questionable at least. So I don't know if that's good or bad though at this point.
Right.
Like with the way they've been playing as a starting unit. So we'll see, man. I do lean the Commanders, but I feel you. Points will be scored today. I feel you. This should be a good game nonetheless with the way things shaped out. Big game
Sunday night football, man. Falcons, 49ers, San Fran, just another season. Sorry, Terry, another season plagued by injury. And to Kyle Shanahan's point, man, they just continue to find ways to win games. Mac Jones gets inserted into the starting lineup with Brock Purdy injured, and Shanahan's offense is still running smoothly. I mean, we saw the Rams win. They're missing everybody in that game. They find a way to win. Coming off of a loss, who they lose to? Baker. They lost to the Bucs last week. Meanwhile, Michael Penix and the Falcons get a huge home win over the Bills on Monday night. Who do you like in this one? San Fran favored by 1.5 at home.
This one is tough, man. This one is tough. Another great matchup, given where these teams are going and where they've come from. It's interesting because you lose Fred Warner last week and you lose him for the season, and obviously that's your defensive leader, that spirit. Too. But you get George Kittle back this week, and he's that leader, that spirit on the offensive end. He can be that go-to guy. And I think, like you said, Mac Jones kind of hasn't missed a beat. I think George Kittle's going to eat with this guy. They said he's going to have no limitations today. So just adding another weapon back into the mix should help out this offense tremendously. I'm trying my best not to sleep on the Falcons, especially after that big win on national television where they just ran the ball down the Bills' throat. They were able to get Drake London involved. Michael Penix looked poised out there. But this just feels like a huge letdown spot. Like it just feels like it's the time for it to happen. You feel like the San Francisco 49ers are beat up. We can go in there. They're a little down right now, losing Fred Warner. We can have our way. And then you get to San Fran. The defense steps up without Fred Warner a bit, and Mac Jones comes out and continues to play for his career basically right now. And all of a sudden CMC is still CMC, right? And that's kind of where I'm leaning. San Fran at home today. They kind of need this W to bounce back and kind of keep the positive energy moving forward. But once again, I'm trying not to sleep on Atlanta, man. How do you feel about this, brother? How are you looking at it on Atlanta's side and then vice versa?
So I do agree. I think this is a major letdown / look ahead spot if you're the Falcons coming off of that major win. We've seen this same Falcons team lose badly to a bad Carolina Panthers team. Get blanked, shut out, 30-0. So they have it in them to lay an egg. We know this, right? But I'm looking at that San Fran defense, and I think that's been the most. I don't know what's more impressive, honestly. The way that Shanahan's offense with Mac Jones and all these injuries has been able to sustain and win games, or the fact that Robert Saleh back in the Bay Area has this defense playing at such a high level. We talked about in the offseason, all those pieces that they lost and were missing this year. You know, what are they going? What's that defense going to look like? Now, obviously, losing Fred Warner is a different type of beast. Right? We're losing that guy, losing the heart of your team, the heart of your defense is humongous. But I still think their defense plays well enough. My question is, what does Atlanta try to do? You mentioned what they did to Buffalo. Now, Buffalo's run defense stinks. We know that. Right. But Atlanta wants to run the ball. Get Bijan loose, get Algier involved, use the play action, and get Penix out of the pocket on the bootlegs off of the rushing attack. I'm looking at this Niners defense, who is allowing 107 rushing yards per game, but only 214 passing yards per game defensively. So a little bit better against the pass than they have been against the run this year. Does Atlanta do what they should do what they do best, feed their workhorses, create big plays off of it? Then they'll make it a very, very interesting game. I do think San Fran comes away with a win, but to Terry's point, very not similar in the style of play, right? It's not going to be a shootout like the Cowboys, Commanders game is looking like. Right. But which defense can create opportunities for their offense and get the ball back for them in that defense?
No, that is a great point, because you could easily turn this into a knockout, drag them out fight, maybe a 17-13 type of setting, and at that point, it's anyone's game, right? Like, it's just when you come out and you start to play out of nature, right, or out of character, I guess would be a better way to put it. But it'll be interesting watching Bijan and CMC, just two workhorses, go at it today. Obviously, Tyler Algier, to your point, workhorses on the Atlanta Falcons. Tyler Algier obviously is a very sturdy backup running back, I guess you could say. But should be a hell of a matchup, Terry. Good luck out there today. I'm leaning 49ers. I hope they win. But we'll see. We'll see if the Atlanta Falcons can take a step forward, because that's exactly what this would be, being in San Fran. I can't believe it yet. I can't believe it.
I agree, man. I agree. So we're on par so far. We're agreeing so far on the show. Let's skip ahead to Monday night with a doubleheader, 7 and 10 o'clock, the way it should be, as you pointed out, getting the West Coast team involved and having the separation of the games, not 7:15 and 8:15 start times collectively. Right. You get Baker and the Bucks heading to Detroit. Baker coming off of a win, Lions coming off of a loss in Arrowhead to the Chiefs. Humongous game for both teams. Obviously much more important to the Lions. I think that's clear. If you're the Bucks right now, you are playing with house money. Now, obviously, you can go out and make a statement. Especially, like Buka's questionable. I don't know Chris Godwin's status. Mike Evans is still out, I believe. I don't know Bucky Irving's status. But you're going into this game still banged up, still missing pieces. You're 5-1 on the year, with your only loss being to the defending champs. You can make a statement today. But if you're Detroit and you lose at home and you drop 2 in a row and now you're 4-3 on the year, and all 3 of your losses would be the playoff teams while your wins aren't all that impressive. It's a bad look if you're the Lions and lose this game. They are 5.5-point favorites, which is interesting because I just don't know that I can bet against the way Baker Mayfield's playing right now. But I do ultimately think the Lions are going to be too much, depending on how banged up that offense remains for Tampa Bay. I do think the Lions come away with a win.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. Right before I got on here, I saw that Evans is actually trending towards playing in
Oh
this
yeah, he's
game.
questionable now. Okay.
And then Egbuka, they were in kind of the same boat. Egbuka trending towards, but not solidified
Okay.
yet. We'll know
That's
more
big, dude, if
tomorrow.
they both play.
If they both play, obviously Egbuka is in the running for offensive rookie of the year right now. He's kind of running away with that the way he's been playing over the start of the season. And then to just get Mike Evans back, it's not even about what he'll produce, but it's more about the attention that he brings on offense and being that guy on the outside. Bucky Irvin's still beat up, but they do have like Rashad White and company there. I think the other guy's Sean Tucker. They still get by. Baker just does what's needed to win, right? He's a real gritty quarterback. It's interesting, but I do agree with you. I feel like this is a must-win spot for the
Yep.
Detroit Lions. The Bucks can actually afford to lose this game, like quite
Yeah.
honestly, with where they're at health wise and starting 5-1.
Absolutely.
You look at the rest of their division. Obviously, the Falcons, big game for them. They'll know the
Right.
result of that by the time this game comes up. But do you really, do you really think they're going to sneak up on the Bucks this year, the Falcons? I mean, maybe we'll see when those head-to-head matchups happen. But I just feel
Well,
like the Bucks
Bucks
can
already
afford
got one
to.
win over them in week 1.
Yeah, great point. Great point. I keep forgetting about that. Yeah, I'll go with Detroit, but I do not like that 5.5 by any means. That's a
No.
lot against the Bucks, man.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, but that's the way I would lean. Another high total though, 53.5, which
Yeah.
is kind of interesting because I'm interested to see what Todd Bowles' defense does on the road. Do they give Jared Goff fits? Does he turn the ball over in this game, or can that
Right.
Lions offense do more of what they've been doing to people for the most part, up until the Chiefs game last week? But
Right.
with
I
that
think
said,
both teams will score. I
yeah,
do.
me too.
Yeah.
Me too. And I feel like in the past like 2 years since Baker's been in Tampa, I feel like there's been some bangers in Detroit between these two teams.
There has, man. Yeah. That's why I could see them, like, rather even than the Cowboys and the Commanders, like even more than them, I feel.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm tripping for that. I don't know. How bad is that Dallas defense?
Yeah, that is true. That's true.
But,
All right, last kind of game to run through here a little bit. Texans,
sir.
Seattle, 10 o'clock Monday night. I think the trend so far on the show is the pressure seems to be on the home team so far when you're looking at the Chargers, when you're looking at the not the Niners really, but you're talking about the Lions as well.
Yeah.
It's the road team for me in this one, man. And it's that Houston Texans team coming off of the bye week, 2-3 on the year. Back-to-back wins, but against the Jags, against the Titans and against Cooper Rush and the Ravens. So they've beaten nobody so far.
Yeah.
They are, they are going in the right direction after starting 0-3, coming off of a bye, getting healthier. I like Seattle in this one. People have this blind, I don't want to say blind because obviously we all saw the rookie campaign. People just have this belief in CJ Stroud that I don't have. I think CJ Stroud is a fine quarterback. I think he's a good quarterback. I do not think CJ Stroud is some top 8, top 9 quarterback in the National Football League. I don't think he elevates anyone around him. So far this year, Nico Collins just has not been enough, right? Like Nico Collins is a stud. Nico Collins, and CJ Stroud have not been able to compensate for the rest of the lack of the offense. I think Seattle at home, 12th man. Can they run the ball against this Texas front, which their defense has not been the problem?
Right.
I think Seattle gets the win at home, and I think the Texans just continue to be more of what they are this year, and that's just mediocre.
No, I definitely get that. Looking at this game, I would come into it thinking like Seattle at home, they should be able to take care of business against this Houston Texans team. You look at what Sam Darnold's been able to do with JSN. JSN's been unstoppable. He leads the league in receiving yards so far. He's a weapon, but I don't know, man. There's just something off about this game, and I guess it's not really about CJ Stroud for me because I do feel you. I'm not like the highest on him, although his numbers they're like all right. Like when you look at the numbers, they're all right, but when you watch him, it's kind of a different story. I just think they can make this game ugly. You look at the Seahawks, they've been great on the road. They're 3-0 on the road. For some reason, when they go home, they just have trouble. I don't really understand it. 1-2 at home this season so
that's
far.
a good point. That's
3-6.
Yeah.
3-6 there last year. So it's like this weird trend with McDonald at the head coach. But I don't know. I feel like Houston's defense is going to step up, and it's like it is one of these games. It's a make or break type of game for Houston in their season. And I know we've kind of said this each week, but this is actually a make or break game because of the level of competition. I think that the Seahawks are a competent football team. It's not that I think lowly of them. I just think the Texans come in here and a prove it spot against a team that is beatable. And I think their defense could have a night against Sam Darnold. Although Darnold has looked great at times this season, to be fair. But I'll go with the Texans. We'll disagree on this one, at least.
All right. Disagree on the first preview. All right, let's get into the 2-minute drill, and then we'll head on over for for pregame live for the Birds, because the rest of this slate I find no enjoyment in looking at. Saints, Bears in Chicago. Spencer Rattler. Give me the Bears in this one. Only 3.5-point favorites. Is that a little weird?
It is. It is a little weird, especially being at home.
Yeah.
I guess they're just still not sold on the Chicago Bears. Like, this is a big spot for them. They could go to 4-2 on the season. I'm taking the Bears as well. That is an interesting line, though.
I agree. Sure. I would take the Bears to cover. Dolphins, Browns. Give me the Dolphins in this one. They're underdogs.
They are. I saw 2.5 earlier. I don't know if that's still the same.
Dude, the total's 34.5.
34.5.
I'm so tempted.
It's like the Browns just come out and make it ugly, you know? I don't know. I feel like they have played. It's weird. I feel like they have played a little bit better with Dylan Gabriel. But
we hit an over in the Browns-Vikings game in overseas a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. So it's interesting. No Njoku today.
Job done, I think.
I do like the Dolphins, though, for sure. I'm interested to know why they're not the favorites there. But I guess it's just 2, 1, and 5.
Not 1.5, not a pick 'em. Yeah. It's 2.5. But to D-Rab's point, it's fair.
Yeah.
All right, your Cinderella. Patriots at Titans. Give me Drake May in this one. I think this one's pretty easy.
Yeah, I'll take the Pats in this one. Drake May, 5th in passing yards, 7th in QBR so far this season. Let's see. This should be an easy one for him.
Right? First place New England Patriots as well, looking to extend that with the Bills on the bye this week. Raiders, Chiefs 12.5-point favorites. Give me Kansas City at home to roll Geno and the Raiders.
I do agree. I think this is maybe I don't want to say the turning point against the Raiders, but it's just that point. You get Rashee Rice back, you have Worthy back, you got your guys now. You roll the Raiders like you should, and you get back into a positive record. So
last game in the 1:00 slate, Panthers in the Meadowlands to take on the Jets. Give me the New York Jets to get their first win of the season.
I mean, it would continue the trend of parity all at the end of the day. I am going to go with the Carolina Panthers in this one because I just think the Jets may just be the worst team in the NFL. Like that may be what they are. To your point, they got to get a win at some point, right? Like they're not going to go over. So I mean, this is a solid spot, but they've had solid spots previously, man.
Look, I'm not a Justin Fields guy. You know this. But it does not make sense that they would be the worst team in the league. Like you look at Spencer Rattler and the Saints, you look at Dylan Gabriel and the Browns. You know, Cam Ward, obviously number 1 overall pick. You got some hope there in Tennessee. But you look at the Titans, and then you get to that Jets team, and you're like, all right, well, you know, you still have Garrett Wilson, and you have should have a decent running game in Breece Hall and Braylon Allen and all that young talent on the defensive side of the ball, which a couple years ago was thought of as a top 5 unit in the league. And they can't stop anybody. They still continue to not run the ball well. Their offensive line sucks. And Justin Fields only makes plays with his legs that excite anyone. Can't do anything with his arm. Garrett Wilson's got to be sick to his stomach. So, but they should have enough talent not to be this bad. 0-4 at home. I'll hope that they get a win.
It's a big letdown spot for the Panthers as well, right? Like you're 3-3 right now. Somehow they've gotten to this point and they're 3-3. It doesn't feel like it, but all of a sudden they could have the same record as the Chiefs at the end of this week if they come away with a W against a 0-6
It's a
team.
good point, man.
It could be a good, stepping stone for the Carolina Panthers. It's just like how many teams have had these opportunities this season and have not been able to take those leaps. So let's see, man. I'll pick the Panthers, but
Jackson Dart goes into Mile High to take on Bo Nix and the Broncos. Denver 7.5 point favorites in this one. Give me Denver.
Yeah, I'll take Denver in this one as well. At home, that defense. You got the Giants coming off, obviously, a big W against the Eagles. Maybe feeling a little full of themselves. I like the Denver defense to step up. And
I think Broncos game too. I think the Broncos defense does what the Eagles defense should have did to Jackson Dart last week, and I think they make him pay a couple times today. Last game, man. Packers in the desert taking on the Cardinals. Green Bay 6.5 point road favorites. Yeah, give me Jordan Love and the Packers to take care of business today.
Yeah, definitely give me the Packers in this one, man. I think that 6.5 point spread is important though. Like I feel like they need to make a statement, right? Like they need to have a dominating game. Like the last few weeks, I know they got the W against the Bengals. That was a one-score game at the end of that game, I believe. I think it was like 27-18, so maybe not a one-score game, but not what you should be beating the Joe Burrow-less Bengals by if you're a Super Bowl contender, in my opinion. And then obviously the week before that, maybe it was a bye week or something, but they had the draw with Dallas, so on and so forth. I really just want to see something from the Packers today. This is a game that they should be able to take care of business. I think Kyler Murray is questionable for this one. Do the Cardinals look better with Jacoby Brissett? Like they did last week for whatever reason, but I don't know. One big thing: Josh Jacobs is questionable for this one with an illness.
Interesting.
So that does make it a little interesting. Arizona defense is all right, but the Packers should run through them. They should run away with this game, man. And they
one would think, Scotty, but in the National Football League, when we zig, they zag. And whenever you think something is a sure thing, I can almost certainly tell you that it's not. So we'll see how the board
100%
ends up shaking out today. Rams up 21-0 in the fourth quarter, about 11 minutes left at Jacksonville's 35, 4th and 5. Now they're probably going to kick a field goal here. Unbelievable. After another example of a great gambling week, followed by a ridiculous weekend in the wrong direction. Never seems to fail.
I have Kyron Williams touchdown for everybody out there.
Yeah, I took over 42. Started good by the Rams. Jacksonville's getting blanked up until now. If the Rams do kick a field goal, neither team has scored a point in the second half of this game.
Second half, yeah.
So the fans in London are getting a show on this fine morning, I guess.
It was 13-11 last week.
Yeah, whatever, bro.
Oh my God.
This is absurd. But all right, guys, that is going to do it for this Sunday edition of Turf Talk. We will be back live with you either Thursday night or Friday afternoon, breaking down the Week 7 slate and some Thursday night football this upcoming week. For myself and Scotty, you can find us on Twitter at DSM_media. Follow, subscribe, tap in, and come hang out with us over on the DSM Philly YouTube channel as we get you ready for Birds Vikings on the pregame show in a few moments.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Peace, everyone.